How y'all doing?
I think we're gonna do something different. I think we're gonna do a compilation over periods of time so you can see what everything looks like. I'm in Vegas, I'm in zone 9, whatever. This is winter's ending. It's like January or so. And we're gonna be looking into this dragon fruit. This is what we're looking like. You can see that this color, yeah, things are starting to grow, wake up and grow in. These guys are new shoots, new shoots. Now these are lower than what I want. This is crazy. And that guy's growing into itself. Kind of weird. But this guy isn't attached. I'm gonna have to cut that out. I technically want to cut off some of these lower growths. You can see that the color is kind of dark. Winter will do it. So when you're looking at your dragon fruit and it looks something like this, as far as the color, just know it's still alive. As the sun comes, these will start to wake up, the color will change. But we definitely want to get rid of everything at this bottom part. We want the canopy to be at the top. We want all this sort of growth to be at the top. And this is kind of skinny anyway, as I said before, kind of seems like a bottleneck. But as you can see, these guys are at the top. That's where I want them to be. So you gotta kind of look as things grow. Dragon fruit really does grow extremely fast. I think it's crazy how fast this grew. I haven't even had this a year yet. Dragon fruit loves well draining soil, and they like watering more than like a cactus, but less than like an avocado, your standard trees. I make the same soil for everything. It rains, you're not gonna catch me out here having to move things around. Something like a dragon fruit, you'd have to move your pot if the water doesn't drain out. What do? Plan for the worst, hope for the best. All right, we're in January still, towards the mid, and you can already see all this new growth. The thing with some trees is that it's like I want to see something happen. Dragon fruit is that fruit? It grows so fast. It was technically growing before it even got warm. Now that it's warm, this is growing like crazy. This is one that I got from Home Depot actually. I want to say it's an American Beauty, or is it a no name? I can't remember what the pot says, but all right, now here we are in February, March almost. So in a matter of a month, look at how everything's changed. The color's changed. This piece is growing into the wood. We don't want that. So you literally have to come out here every week, every other day almost. And see how these were so small, if you remember. Now look what a month makes. It's crazy. These things grow super fast. And these guys I was supposed to cut off, I didn't. I don't know if I want to let them grow. They're close to the top, but generally people have it like 4, maybe 5 feet tall. But I want mine to slope. I want mine to come down. But let's get these trained. Got the super elastic tape. You can get this anywhere. I always suggest to make sure you're utilizing your mom and pop stores, your big box, not necessarily big box stores, but the underdog, I believe at Star Nursery they have like a super big roll for like $6 or something cheap. Amazon, it was more expensive on Amazon. Guys, I ain't saying don't use Amazon, but small places need love too. You ever think about that? Like, we can't go just start a company. It's like you have to be part of a big chain in order to make it. What happened to the American dream? You can live off of one income, have a house, kids, family. It's like it's not like that anymore. It makes me sad. It's just looking at the future. I have no hope almost. That's why we garden those, so that we can at least have our own. These corporations taking over, not having our best interest at heart. A lot of these farming situations, the fruit and vegetables, people are getting sick because corners are being cut and things of that nature. That's why we start our own garden. We are in control of our own health. We're in control of our own food. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to go on that little tangent, but I have a lot of feelings about a lot of the things of the world. This trellis is tilting a little bit, but it should hold up fine. Worst case scenario, I could tie it down. Now, theoretically, because it's so tall, I'll get more fruit. I'll be able to have longer branches from the dragon fruit coming down. So instead of having like a 1 or 2 foot branch, I can have like a 7-foot long branch, you know? And then theoretically, I should be able to get more fruit off of that. I'm just gonna take a look around and see what else I need to get tied down or what I'm gonna do about all this. These are some healthy cuttings though. I can completely grow another plant off of these. And guys, depending, like on your dragon fruit, every dragon fruit is different, but you want to make sure she has no gloves. Not like these cloth gloves, but some like leather gloves. I'm being super careful, but you will get poked. So like American Beauty has spikes, for instance. The plain white one has spikes. A lot of them do. Make sure you get a good quality glove. You see, I just wanted to be poking over. And what I was probably gonna do is cut the tips of these, the ones that are just barely over, so I can get one will turn into 2 or 3. When you cut certain areas on certain things, everything's a little bit different, but the idea is you get sideways growth. You get multiple growth from one. One becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's true with trees and all sorts of things. All right, here we are a couple weeks later. I was trying to wait and see what happens. Look how much growth we are having though. Literally like 14 days, 13 days later. 13 to 14 days later. It is crazy. Normal trees are so slow to grow. Dragon fruit, you'll see results, what seems to be immediately. So one thing that sucks about this hobby is the waiting. You have to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, and if you mess up, you have to start all over. Like, do research, do things right the first time. Alright, so 2 more weeks later. Look at how thick these have gotten. I think I'm just going to go ahead and let these grow upwards. But you can see how thick these are in comparison to this thickness. I mean, I'm just going to leave it as is. Realistically, I should have cut off the skinny part, which is how Home Depot had it, and then just had like these thick growths. But you can kind of see how what is growing faster than other pieces, how energy works. Energy comes from the bottom to the top. So any energy that's being redirected that's closer to the bottom is going to keep from energy being redirected at the top. So if I would have cut these off, the ones at the top would have grown faster. But it is what it is. I shouldn't have all of these. I'm probably have to cut one of these off, but I just really hope that this isn't going to be an issue. It's so skinny, but then again, the core is the part that is the most important, so theoretically you should be good. And I really want to just snip anything that's like 1 inch higher than what the top of this trellis is. On to the next. Alright, we are another month, and look at how big this has gotten. It looks like we got a whole other elbow. I cut all these bits. So I'm going to show you, it's about 1 inch or so from the top. These will grow multiple arms. I'm going to have like 16 or so at the top. I didn't cut those like I said I was going to, but it is what it is. I can just let them grow from there. It just slows it down a tad, but nothing crazy. But everything's looking super healthy now. Except for this yellow. This yellow just is not growing. I do not suggest getting anything that's small. Get something that's already established. I have them in 2 different pots. Obviously everything in that pot to the left is doing great. They're rooted, so it's not that. Like, my dog is broken. She's looking for shadows and lights. Anyone else's dog like this? Like, issues. Girl. Can't make this up. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. And as usual, you just being lazy. Woo! Let's grow, people.